for more on this, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Congressional Affairs Joel Rubin joins us in the studio. Joel, in the wake of the Jamal Khashoggi killing and the U.S. support for the Saudi coalition in Yemen, how does this potentially impact U.S.-Saudi relations?
It's a very dangerous plan, what we've heard about and learned from the Oversight Committee. And what it shows are actually the roots of the American policy towards Saudi Arabia. These ideas first took form in the first several months of the administration, and they violated ethics guidance, they violated legal guidance, and they would not pass muster in Congress. And so there's a lot of questions now that Congress is going to have to ask, primarily why and what's behind this and who stands to benefit. And the White House has a lot to answer.
Why is the White House pushing this?
The White House, we aren't sure why they're pushing it, but we know who would benefit from it. And who would benefit from it would be American industry, would be the nuclear providers, and also Saudi Arabia and its ability to, in its view, raise its powerful profile in the region. But behind the scenes, with names that you mentioned, like Tom Barrack, for one, he was the leader of the Presidential Inauguration Committee, which now is under investigation by Robert Mueller. So there's a lot swirling there at the beginning of this administration, and now it's being unpacked.
Tom Barrack called this Trump's Middle East Marshall Plan. That was obviously the plan that was used to rebuild Europe after World War II. Is that a fair comparison?
Not at all. The Marshall Plan rebuilt Europe, which was devastated by war. This would be a sellout, frankly, of technology to the Middle East. And there are grave proliferation concerns with transferring nuclear technology to third countries. We have agreements. They're called 123 agreements for the statute that is guiding these transfers. There are rules about it. And this looks like a plan that was sort of concocted about business first, not about developing these countries or about following those rules.
And there was some criticism among Republicans that they weren't consulted before this report was released.
Right. Well, this is what we're now going to watch, the new normal of Congress, which is that Republicans are going to run cover for the administration. They didn't ask hard questions for the last 2 years. A lot took place under the radar screen. Now it's coming out, and Republicans in Congress, instead of doing their duty as members of Congress to conduct oversight, are likely going to try to block oversight by the Democrats.
And what did you find, Joel, particularly disturbing about these revelations that came to light?
The most problematic to me from a process perspective is that there were directives by the National Security Advisor and by the legal staff at the White House for this plan to end and not be discussed anymore because of these problems. But the conversations continued, and they were conversations led by appointees who were engaging with outside government, private sector actors to organize it. So clearly there's a lot of crony capitalism potentially in there, and ethical challenges that were being ignored. That's a real deep-rooted problem.